Somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.
What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking a sequel on Netflix into All the Boys. P.S. I Still Love You. I need you in the comments down below. Were you a fan of the first film? Were you looking forward to this one? And let's get right into it. So, Lara Jean and Peter have just taken their relationship from pretend to officially official when another recipient of one of her old love letters enters the picture. This film is directed by Michael Fimagnari. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Not Susan Johnson, who directed the first film. And Austin, how'd you feel about the first movie? I really liked the first movie. And I watched it again yesterday, and I logged it on Letterboxd, and my review is on there. I liked it even more. I raised my score. This is a film, and at this point, a franchise, I guess, that just, you know, it resonates with you in a very different way because its characters feel more real. Now, a lot of that has to do with the cast, and we'll get into that here in just a second, my goodness. But it also has to do with the writing, and I know this is based on books, and I know so many fans of what that story was there, how it's translated to the small screen in a Netflix movie, and I got to be honest with you, I didn't know much about it going into the first film, so I thought it was going to be another run-of-the-mill teen rom-com where the writing suffers mostly because of the characterizations, but also because it feels like in these movies that don't work, they're being written by adults who just don't understand how teens operate and how teens work. These two films don't feel that way, and I felt the exact same way watching this particular movie. Now, is P.S. I Still Love You as good, as much of a surprise as the original? I can't personally go that far, right? That first movie was almost like lightning in a bottle. How do you repeat the formula? And it does feel very similar in tone, very similar in nature this time around, but it is a different kind of story. Unfortunately, because we're not going back to the roots of what that first movie was, with the fact that she has this made-up boyfriend, they're trying their best to be a fake couple, and I was so interested in how that entire thing played out. This time around, it really is a struggle on who do I choose, because now we have a new guy entering the picture in John Ambrose McLaren, who ended up being played by a charming guy. Jordan Fisher did a good job as this character. Now, did I personally like him as much as Noah Centineo in this role? I mean, this guy has charm. He has spunk, and I don't know what it is about him because so many Netflix movies with Noah Centineo in them. I like the guy as an actor. I really do. But for the most part, his movies have either been lackluster or really bad. But for some reason, in this film, in this franchise, his charm mixed with his slight awkward nature and the way he goes about things works really well for me. And it's crazy how much I'm getting swept up in this franchise because normally I could care less about the romance aspect of these kinds of movies. I just either want to laugh or be entertained or appreciate the script, the screenplay, and I normally never get those. But with these two films, I'm like, who's she gonna go with? Is it gonna be John? Is it gonna be Peter? I don't know. And that's a really important part of these movies, absolutely. But when you're approaching it from a critical standpoint, you have to kind of peel back the layers and see what they're doing different and make sure that they're keeping their audience on board throughout the entire movie. And I feel like fans, longtime fans of the first film will absolutely get something out of this movie. They just may not be as connected, as hooked as they were the first time around. Now, I have seen some that actually prefer this film over the first. I just feel like the first movie, honestly, was a bit better directed. I liked the focus a bit more. I feel like the focus was there as opposed to this film where it kind of bounces around a bit more, but not necessarily to storylines that I wanted to see more of. In this film, you have a new-ish storyline with her father, and I know these things will continue in the next movie, but it's not a television show. You can't approach it as an episode. You have to approach it as a film, so I would have liked to have seen more of that. I wanted to see a bit more of these side characters fleshed out, although I do enjoy the focus being on Lara Jean because Lana Condor is the saving grace of this entire thing. I mean, this doesn't work without casting the right actress. This doesn't work without casting someone with an incredible amount of charm and charisma and can carry the entire film with the voiceover. And the voiceover trope is something that gets worn out very easily, especially in a movie like this. Not in this film. She keeps you connected, she keeps you engaged, and you just love her. You absolutely love her, you're rooting for her, and you're wanting her to make the right decision. And that's the thing about this film also that I can nitpick is there were certain decisions made, and there were certain ideas that got brought up, and I'm just like, it feels a bit more like a cliche than it should. And because what I loved about the first film is that it's straight away from cliches and tropes that you see in movies like this. It would occasionally dip its toe. I feel like this movie dipped its toe a tad bit more. I feel like this film, the storyline was a bit more simplistic, nothing as complicated. I would have liked to have seen a bit more complication, not necessarily in a bad way, just give me a bit more. It felt overly simplified, and it all really does come down to a handful of decisions. Now, I'm not going to say which way she goes, but, I mean, y'all know me. I was sitting there like, come on, make the right choice. And because it feels more like a typical story, because it doesn't go back and forth between the family and the relationships as much as it did in the previous, it focuses more on what happens in school and with their relationship, which in its own way is good. I'm not personally ready to say I liked it as much as the original, but if you all don't know me well, this is very uncharacteristic for me. Normally, movies like this annoy me, whether it's the dialogue or the unrealistic character tropes, and there are a few of those in here, but I don't care. I enjoy this franchise at this point. I enjoy these movies, and I think longtime fans are going to really enjoy this sequel. So before I give you guys my score, if you enjoyed this movie, or at least if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave those comments down below and hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out this channel. And I'm going 72% for P.S. I Still Love You. Never in a million years thought I would say that. What is it about this franchise? It is so crazy how much I enjoy these movies. Going back and rewatching that first one yesterday was a really, really nice treat. And guess what? I may rewatch this one, and I'm excited for the third film. I don't know exactly where they're going to go. I know longtime book readers do know, so if you have an idea, please don't spoil anything. Let me know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this movie as well. You guys are the best. I'll be back very soon with another Netflix review, some movie reviews. We have Sonic, we have countdowns, all of those things on this channel, and I'll see you very soon.